Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairymuppet. Welcome back to some Factorio Space Age, and we are semi-done with Gleba. We're kind of done. Well, we obviously haven't done any Megabase stuff yet, but we're done with the 120 SPM, and I'm going to be honest. I think it's more complicated than Fulgora. I mean, I just realised I got a watch on. I'm trying to put my wrist guards on over the watch. I've never tried to do that before, but it's not a good idea. So let me take off my fancy watch and put my wrist guards on, because I've been playing for the last few hours and my hands are hurting a little bit. So yes, not good, but at the same time, like, it's Factorio. So what are you going to do? Take a break, I guess. After I do this video, I promise I'll take a break. So let's talk about some other things before we get into Gleba. Let's cover Fulgora for a second. I was getting everything overloaded, so I set up this little train with some requesters, and basically if there's more than 10,000 concrete in the logistics network, it goes on a belt, does the same for a whole bunch of different products, and then it goes onto the magical train, or what I like to call the death train, and basically it just goes up here, and then we've got a huge ass recycling thing, and it just all recycles it. The output goes in, gets cached, and then goes straight back in as a priority, and eventually everything that gets offloaded on that train will just be destroyed. And as you can see, I ran out of space on this island, but I actually got a train over to a different island. And luckily this island was close enough that I could connect them via the same power network, which was nice. And I used the space for a whole bunch of accumulators as well. So this whole island chain is up to like almost 14 gigajoules. It's crazy. But yep, I needed that. It does back up on holmium though, but I'm not super worried, because the thing is, holmium is the lowest common denominator. It's the thing that's always going to be the lowest. So if it's backing up on holmium, there's a good chance that it's backing up on everything else, or it's got enough of everything else to keep itself going. Although having said that, plastic is looking a little bit light, so maybe it's still sending through some plastic. But then again, all of these chests are pretty much full, or they got massive amounts in them or something. There's 56,000 signs just sitting there because I don't use it for every research. So yeah, that one's fine. Let's talk about spaceships for a second, because okay, so last episode I said I was going to move all my science over to Gleba, and I actually did that for a little while, and it was okay. It worked well. I had this massive Now-V science ship that was taking 6 different things of science over from Now-V to Gleba, and I was almost at the point where I was going to fit some thrusters onto this thing and send it over to Gleba. Oh, God knows how that was going to work out, but I was seriously thinking about it. And it was a good plan, because as you can see, Gleba has a direct route to every single planet. Now-V does not. I mean, Aquila is the only one with a direct route to the solar system edge, but Gleba is the best choice. However, here's the thing. Okay, let's talk about the funky thing in here. So under the bite egg handling, which I've done a whole bunch of research for Gleba, haven't done bite egg handling, but under this is the biolab. Now let's have a look at the biolab. First thing you notice, the research speed is 2+5. That's it's decent. Science prac drain is 50%. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it's the equivalent of having productivity of 100%. I think. Which makes this lab incredibly overpowered. Now, if you look down the bottom, you see buildable on planet. This is one of the few buildings where you can only build it on a certain planet. Every other building, you can construct it on certain planets, but you can build it anywhere. This one, you can only build it on that planet, which is Now-V's. You can't, look, it's a biolab, but you can't build it on Gleba. You can only build it on Now-V's. That seems a bit weird. Like, you should be able to build it on Gleba. I mean, look at this building. This looks like a Gleba building, but you can only build it on Now-V's? I don't really get that. It's obviously some enforcement by the developers to say, hey, do all your research on Now-V's. So I had my ships going all the way to Gleba to drop off the science, and I changed them to go back around to Nalvis and start dropping off the science. As you can see, I am dropping off agricultural science packs here as well. I use them for a little bit. Actually, how many do I have here? 2,000. What I usually do is every now and then I check it, and if there's a bunch sitting in there, then I go research something. You know what? Let's start on Aquila. If there's a bunch of science sitting there, then I usually get some agricultural science. I drag it up to the front and I get a start on it. And then every now and then I'll look back, and when it's run out of science, I'll drag something else on there. Having said that, let's look at the space. Ooh, see, we got another 1,000 science already heading over there. Okay, so this is a good call. Planet Discovery Aquilo. And as you can see, these guys are still at 71%, which means I get 71% of the science for them. So, yeah. Are you're at Nalvis? So it should be throwing the science off the edge any second now. Should be just chucking it off. I think it has to stop first, has to fully stop, and then it'll start launching the science down onto. There we go. It's actually only one rocket, but yeah, that'll put it down to almost 3,000, which will almost finish this off because, as I said, 70%. Now, we've messed around the ships a little bit. This used to be Fulgora pickup. It is now Fulgora Science. It does the science packs and the science packs alone. I had to do this when I was sending stuff over to Gleba, but I kept it in the long run because it's nice and simple. So we've got separate ships for all of the different science packs. And then basically I created a Nalvis supply ship. So instead of having the pickup ships bring back miners and foundries to Nalvis, I now have a Nalvis supply ship. And basically it's got one station, Nalvis, but it's got a whole bunch of interrupts. So I started using interrupts, and I use interrupts for example, Fulgora supply. So it's go to Nalvis, get everything, go to Fulgora, wait till anything's zero, but it's got some interrupts. So for example, Volcanus supply is empty. Hopefully I got that planet name right. If it's out of miners or it's out of foundries, and obviously it checks the condition to make sure there's no fail states, then it'll go over to Volcanus and it'll stay there until it's filled up both of these, and then that'll be the interrupt. So that means it goes back and forward from Fulgora to my main thing, but it will skip over to another planet if it needs to. And as we can see, the Nalvis supply, it just sits at Nalvis and doesn't move, and all these three are interrupts. And Gleba, there's no actual building it goes for, but it goes for this wacky carbon fiber, which is used for constructing some things. Most importantly, it's used for constructing, oh, excuse me, my voice is going. Used for constructing rocket turrets, which in turn are used for constructing the Spidertron, which I have unlocked. So, yeah. This guy needs, raw fish, not too hard. The fission reactor, exoskeleton radar, not too hard. But the rocket turret does require the carbon fiber, which you can only make on Gleba. The carbon fiber needs to be made in that bloody biochamber with some Yumako mash, which is a Gleba resource. So yeah, we have to export that over, and we're actually making it over here, which is cool. And that was pretty much it for the ships. One other thing which I wanted to highlight, which I can't believe it's taken me this long to get my head around. Loading firearm magazines. Rocket capacity, 100. The capacity of iron plates, 1,000. The amount of iron it takes to produce a firearm magazine, 4. So, if you do the math, you can see that I have been doing something stupid for an incredibly long time by not just sending iron up and then converting it into ammo, by actually sending the ammo up. God knows how many rockets I've wasted. Whatever. Maybe I should just remove one of these cargo bays and replace it with an assembler and a couple of inserters. That would not be a bad idea. But the thing is, this ship is getting close to its end of life anyway, so I'm not too worried. I'm going to be designing a new ship after I finish conquering this planet. It's going to go to Aquilo, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later in this video. For now, let's talk about Gleba. Glebo. Is it Glebo? Gleba? Whatever. So, the science is made using... What's it made using? This Bioflux and the pentapod egg. Now, the pentapod egg is not too bad. You get one pentapod egg... You get 2 pentapod eggs from inserting 1 pentapod egg and 30 nutrients and a bunch of water. So, it's a massive nutrient sucker, but... you're basically just doubling your pentapod. So I've got a little feedback thing that feeds it back up here and then goes down there. You will notice a lot of these active provider chests with filter inserters for spoilage, because everything spoils. Okay, these pentapods take 15 minutes to spoil, and these Bioflux takes 2 hours to spoil. I love these Biofluxes, they're awesome. Some things take a lot sooner, like there's jelly on this belt, there's Yumako mash on this belt. They spoil in like a few minutes flat. So you can see already there's some spoilage on that belt. If we have a look at this belt, is that spoilage or is that ground cover? No. We can see a little bit of spoilage here. This nutrient, whatever this is. Oh, the nutrient, where is it? Yeah, this is a problem. We've got this nutrient. Is it just called nutrients? I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's just called nutrients. Nutrients is the power source for this, for these bio chambers. And nutrients do not last very long. Spoil time, 5 minutes, which is kind of on the low side. And you use them as fuel for everything. So let's go through it. Well, let's keep it at this side. I could go from the start, but let's sort of go backwards. So basically, we've done the pentapods. Bioflux basically takes Yumako mash and jelly and converts it into Bioflux. So it's kind of like you've got 2 different things you're farming, and then you're just sort of mushing them together. And all these buildings take nutrients for power. Now let's talk about nutrients for a second, because there's a few different ways to make it. You can make it from spoilage, which is great because you're going to have tons of spoilage, but it's a 1 to 10, and it comes out 50% spoiled, so that's not so great. You can also make it from Yumako mash, which is 6 to 4, which is nice, or you can make it from Bioflux, which is 40 to 5, which is a huge ratio. But of course, Bioflux is the thing that requires Yumako mash and jelly. Now, I haven't quite done the maths for this yet. I think I actually did in the last episode. I think it is slightly better to do this one, because it's such a huge ratio. And it allows you to still have the Yumako and the jelly kind of at the same ratio. Look at how much spoilage there is on this jelly line. There's just, because it's waiting for the Yumako to come through, so much of this jelly just completely spoiled itself on the line. Makes it sound like it soiled itself, which it kind of did, but yeah, a little bit embarrassing. So we're basically producing it here. So we take a bunch of this Bioflux, we split it off onto these belts, and these guys just spit out tons of nutrients. We got these little requester chests, which are requesting nutrients as well. This is just a sort of kickstart for this system, because of course, this thing, even though it's producing crap loads of nutrients, it requires nutrients as a power source. So if this belt ever runs out, this system would shut down unless you got this little Kickstarter. And I just realized I need a chest there. So pretty much anywhere you've got anything, you need to have a situation where it might fall over, which is why we have all of these inserters getting rid of the spoilage. So this produces an absolute buttload of nutrients, but it doesn't last too long. However, our system is pretty full on. Oh, I just realized this is doing this here, because I put an inserter and I put the thing. Okay, well, it's sorting itself out. These nutrients are slowing down a little bit, and that sort of clears it up a little bit. But yeah, for some cases like this, I put the spoilage extractor every single bit down the line, because it was just so annoying. But yeah. So basically, it's all about getting this Yumako mash and this jelly in equal amounts. And the thing is, the Yumako mash is much more useful. You need, where is it? You need more of it to create the bioflux than you do the jelly. Yumako mash is always also used for the carbon fiber, along with carbon, and carbon we just create by burning some spoilage. And in addition, we've got this recipe that converts Yumako mash to nutrients, which we use every now and then. But jelly doesn't have that. Jelly just isn't really used for much. It's used for the science, but other than that, not really much. So let's talk about this. So we get Yumako mash from Yumako. And Yumako is the actual thing that we pull off the trees. Now, Yumako mash has a spoil time of 3 minutes. The Yumako has a spoil time of 2 hours. So the fruit lasts for a very long time. The mash lasts for like 3 minutes flat. Okay, so that's why I built this so close to this. Okay, if we look at the actual farms, the farms are ages away. I used to have this over here, and I was sending the mash all the way down the line. And so we moved the mash production very, very close to the science production. Potentially, in the future, I'm going to try and have direct insertion. So the Yumako mash goes directly into this, or as close as possible, because, yeah, 3 minutes is a very low spoilage time. But yeah, we'll see how we go. These guys mostly make it intact. Like, that's a pretty quick trip. And yeah, but most of the spoilage happens, I think, in that short trip. And then after that, the bioflux is pretty good. But yeah, that is where most of the spoilage happens, just on this short trip from here down to here. So yeah, basically, there's a very important feedback loop. So one of these produces 2 Yumako mash and 2% for a Yumako seed. So it's a 1:50 ratio from Yumako to Yumako seeds. And if we go over to here, all the way over to here, all the way over, it's a bit of a walk. Yeah, I'll explain why it's a bit of a walk in a second, but we can see that the plants over here, here's a Yumako tree, 90% grown, it's expecting 45 resources. When it gets to 100, it will return 50 resources. So as we said, it's a 50 to 1. So it's a 50 to 1 for seeds and a 50 to 1. So basically, it's a completely even ratio. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. On the surface, it's absolutely perfect. Now, the problem is, let's highlight this guy. So he can grow on the green tiles. And the green tiles are the ones with the soil in the wetlands. So if we have a look, we got like the green biome, and then we got the proper green biome. And then in the green biome, we got some areas that are wetlands, and then some areas that are soil. And this is actually wetlands over here, but I've created some soil, and this is just pending. So I've got like 1,200, 1,300 of these that are all pending soil. And these used to be like 10% soil, and now it's like 50, 60% soil. And eventually it'll get to 100% soil. And the more soil you have, the more plants you can plant, and the higher your throughput would be, and it basically just goes through the moon. So let's just talk about this setup. So basically, this is a farming thing. You chuck a seed in, it'll go into one of these 3x3 grids. Each of these squares is a 3x3. And if it's fully green, if it's full of soil, it'll plant a seed and create a tree. That's pretty much it. So your job is to put this farming thing in a situation where it's got as many 3x3 green tiles around it as possible. So I got this neat little setup here. It's got 12 of these things going around, and we're slowly filling in the landfill for all this. Right now, it's doing a pretty good job. We got lots of green here. We got lots of green here. This one down the bottom right does have 2 green tiles. Before it had 0, so there were actually some seeds stacking up in it. There's one machine I just saw. This one has 30 seeds stacking up into it, which is kind of okay. I mean, I could go down there and grab those seeds because the seeds are really important, They don't, not because they spoil. The seeds don't spoil, but anyway, it's just a little belt malarkey over here, sending the seeds out, sending the Yumako back in, trying not to use... You can see I've even put the electric poles between belt balances so I don't use up that much space, because I want as much space as possible for doing all of the planting and farming. But once this is ready, this will do a ton. This will do more than we need. Oh, I actually am over here. You know what? I'm going to grab these seeds while I'm here. Because, yeah, we got a very good use for these seeds. So, yeah, it's an interesting sort of situation. So, as you can see, it's a one-to-one. You take 50 fruit out, you convert that into 100 Yumako mash and 1 seed, because it's a 2%, and then you send that 1 seed back, and it's a closed loop. Now, this is where the biochamber comes in, because the biochamber has a productivity of 50%. And it's very important that you use the biochamber to get that 50%. You could use an accumulator and put some prod modules in, and it would do the same thing, but the biochamber is okay. And once you've got a decent amount of everything going on, you can actually produce enough nutrients. Like this guy, I've just got a little assembler, which produces the Yumako mash, which I mash into nutrients, which I use to power the rest of these biochambers to keep them going. No, excuse me. And because we've got a 50%, that means I'm getting 3 seeds per 100 fruit instead of 2 seeds. So I'm getting a net positive in seeds, which is very important for growing the amount of plants you can plant. And I mentioned as well the soil. So to build the soil, to get 10 soil, you need 2 seeds. And that's why I wanted all these seeds. So now I can chuck all these seeds in here and use them to produce a lot more soil, and then the bots will pick up that soil and it'll keep filling this in. So this used to be like I said, it was only 10% filled in. Now it's about 60%, 70% filled in. Eventually it'll completely fill in. And then I will have, and I won't need this anymore. I may still create some of it, but as you can see, so we're producing 1.5 times as many seeds as we need. So I've got this set up, which sends 25% of the seeds to here. If I send any more, I could send 50% more. I could send a third of the seeds over to here because I'm producing 1.5. And now we're to create an equal system, but I'm sending 25%, which means there's a little bit extra coming back over the amount to keep this the same, which means at the same time that I'm creating more tiles, I'm also increasing the total amount of plants that I have in this system. So it's going to increase it over time and going to get better and better and better, which is really nice. And every now and then I can just go over and grab some more seeds if there are a bunch more. Now this does take 50 nutrients for 10 soil, but yeah, nutrients is very hard to get at the start, especially when you don't have your logistics set up. Oh, by the way, some of these plants explode when you destroy them. Make sure to get repair packs in your robot network because you are going to need a lot of them. It won't instantly destroy anything, like we can just do this one. It will never instantly destroy stuff, but it does make a pretty big bang. And I gotta say, when I was putting down my solar network, there were lots of explosions and lots of bots were having a very bad day. But yeah, I did go for solar on this planet. And as you can see, there's a bunch of little stone depots. I just tapped them and put them in landfill. You need a lot of landfill on this planet because there's swamps everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I mean, look at this. I got a water pump right here. This is a swamp. Okay, you cannot build on this. It's an actual swamp. This planet is crazy. There's swamps everywhere. I was trying to do power because I realized I could convert spoilage to carbon, but the ratio is so bad, it's not enough to power it, so I just went for solar. And you do actually only get 50% solar on this planet. It's 30 kilowatts, but this is enough to keep the base going. More than enough. I actually built this massive solar plant when I was planning on doing research here, but that's pretty much ended. I got this weird combination of research packs left over. What can I use this combination for? I think I can do health. Yeah, military, utility, and agricultural. Although I'm sending all the agricultural off planet, so these packs would probably just get destroyed at some point. But anyway, we've got a spoilage request because sometimes the Gleba science pack doesn't quite get all its science there in time, or we're not using enough science, so it ends up getting spoiled on the spaceship. So then this guy just takes the spoilage back. I haven't done anything with spoilage on Nowvis. It does get a little bit spoiled, but whatever. Oh, I solved the problem as well, because if you remember, these guys only have a maximum of 5. And you need 6 coming from one side and 6 coming from another. When you can't do that because you can only have 3 inserters. So what I did is I got 6 on one side, 4 on the other. And then I got this belt coming through down the bottom and these long-handed inserters. Now, this belt is going to carry the last 2 sciences. And this one is for spoilage and also going to put the last 2 sciences on there. So that will allow us to have 12 science packs going through this lab, which is going to be awesome. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for Gleba. The other thing which we get is jelly, but it's pretty much the same thing. Oh, why are there seeds? Wait, you're not putting out... Oh, this thing's just so backed up, it's not actually outputting the seeds. There it goes, it just outputs the seeds. So basically, you got jelly nuts converted into jelly and jelly seeds. It's basically the same ratio with the same percentage of jelly nut seeds. The seeds come back in here, go in this storage area, and then if we go up here, all the way up here, we got pretty much the same thing. It's a bit smaller, mainly because it has to be built on the purple, but it has to be built on the good purple. And some of this purple is not the good purple, like over here. I don't think this is the good purple. I couldn't build it. So it's a very skinny sort of thing, so it didn't quite work out. Having said that, we could build down here as well if we need to, because this is all the jelly stem. But yeah, I'm pretty well backed up. I'm not running out of this jelly anytime soon. Jelly, there's more than enough jelly. So, yeah. But eventually, what I will do... You're probably backed up on a lot of seeds at the moment, I'm guessing. Yeah, you got tons of seeds out there. Well, sort of. But yeah, eventually, what I'll do is I'll start... Actually, I probably could do it now. Making some of this stuff, the artificial jelly nut soil. It's pretty much the same. Bit of landfill, bit of nutrients, and the jelly nut seed. There's actually nothing stopping me from just making that now with exactly the same setup. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. Okay. I'm just going to pop that in a blueprint for a second. I don't know why I'm in map view. I can just walk over there and do it directly. Okay. So then this guy is going to be jelly nut soil. We need some power over here. Do I have... I do not have those. Okay, 1, 1, 1. And we need to change this to be the jelly soil. And then we just need some nutrients over here, which is easy enough. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I'm actually getting nutrients from this thing down the bottom for the jelly nut because, of course, you can't make the nutrients with jelly. You can only make it with Yumako, so I'm just getting it from the core thing. Okay, so that should get a quarter of all of them over there, and this will start slowly producing artificial jelly nut soil. which the bots will start sending over and start filling in this area as well. So this one will be, it's not going to be as good like this area. I can't put down the thing because it's just not the right type of soil. It needs to be right on top of this dark purple bit. The light purple bit isn't good enough, but there's just not a good enough area that I really found. Like this one, it had a really nice rectangle sort of area that I could just squeeze everything in. But even then, down the bottom here, you can't really do anything. You can't put the proper biome in there. But, so this one is only going to have these top 2 rows and a little bit on the left for planting, and that's pretty much it. But here's the thing, okay? In terms of what I'm producing, my average over the last 10 minutes is 160 per minute. And average over the last hour is 170 per minute. And I've hit 240 at peak. And right now it's less than 98. It tends to be a bit wacky because it's all down to these farms, like how long things are growing, all that sort of stuff. Average is good, but it does get a little bit wacky. Yeah. So, we're going back. And we got no spoilage in the thing, which is nice, which means the science didn't run out. What do we got over here? Oh, that's right. What did I just researched Aquila, didn't I? I just researched Aquila. And it went through. That's beautiful. Okay, I got to get onto Aquila to actually do this one. All right, let's talk about the research, because I think we're pretty much done with the actual tech. So we got tree seeding, which is useless. It's about creating more trees on Nowvis. Who gives a crap? And this is about creating fish. Again, I don't think it's really important. Having said that, there is an achievement to get a legendary fish. And when I first saw that, I was like, I wonder how this, eat a legendary fish. I wasn't quite sure how to get that. Now I realize you use this bloody recipe, because you can turn fish into more fish, and you can turn fish into nutrients. But yeah, it kind of wastes a lot of nutrients, but I suppose if you want to get legendary, then it's going to be good. But it's a biochamber, and you need tons of nutrients. So either you need to do it in Nowvis and figure out some way to create nutrients over on Nowvis, or, this is Aquila recipes, or you transport some fish over to Gleba and then do it there, which is probably how you would end up doing it, because I really don't know how to make nutrients. I suppose you could ship spoilage over, but then how do you get spoilage? Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure how to do it. I'm assuming you can't do any farming, but yeah. All right. So that research was kind of a little bit jank. There's some explosive research, infinite rocket and plastic bar. I did a bit of rocket fuel research, just one. Epic quality, meh. I mean, we might do some playing around with legendaries, but that's really not the point of this playthrough. Health, meh. I got efficiency module 3s. I'm actually thinking I will use these for some cases, like mining drills. So in the past, I've put prod modules into mining drills, but I mean, my mining research is at level 20, so it's probably a waste. So I think I'll probably start whacking a combination of speed modules and efficiency modules, because this thing reduces the power by 50%, but the minimum energy is 20%. So there's no point putting all of these in a mining drill, but you might put a couple of speed modules, then a couple of efficiency modules, and sort of play around and get the most speed while having the mining drills take minimum power, and that'll be awesome. We got the advanced asteroid processing, which is 100% necessary for our next ship. So we get the better oxidizer, the better fuel, both using calcite. We now get calcite from the oxide asteroid chunks. We also get sulfur from the carbonic and copper ore from the metallic. So copper ore means we're going to be able to produce the red ammo. Sulfur, I don't actually know what we're going to use this for. If we go to the Factoriopedia, yeah. So it means we can make explosives. It also means we can make coal. Okay, so it almost It also means we can make sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid, explosive, and coal. We're not going to make that on the spaceship. But we can make all three of these, which are very interesting. So what can we do with coal? We can get off solar panels for start, because Aquila has, number one, it has very low solar. Solar power in space is 60%, which is half Fulgura, and we're already having troubles with our current solar setup on Fulgura. So we could still manage it in Aquilo for spaceships and just really go nuts on the solar panels. Having said that, Solar System Edge, solar power in space is 1%. So if we're going to design a ship that can run without solar, which I think we're going to need to create a ship that has no solar, doesn't rely on solar, then coal is one potential. Having said that, I think I proved on Gleba that you really need a lot of coal to get power going. Maybe we could do it, but I kind of don't like that. I really don't like it. So what are our alternate power sources going to be? I mean, let's go back and talk about the sulfur for a second. I think what the idea about this is we're going to make explosives. Coal, I don't really know if there's much use. We're probably going to make explosives, and I'm guessing Mr. Railgun. Yeah, look at that. Railgun ammo, steel plate, explosives, copper cable. So that's how you make the railgun ammo renewably on a spaceship, by using the sulfur to make explosives. Yeah. So I don't think we can make anything power related. You can't throw explosives into a steam furnace and make some power. So yeah. Just on a little bit of a tangent. Actually, we'll go through the rest of the research and then we'll talk about the spaceships, because yeah, I think we'll get on to that. Actually, there isn't much more. We got prod modules. I haven't got into biter eggs yet. I'll probably just do that off camera, because I don't think it's really that interesting, super interesting. We basically just create, we just chuck this on top of a biter spawner, and then you feed something into it. Captive biter spawner. You feed some bioflux in and it gets a biter egg out. And we use biter eggs for a bunch of different things. Like, oh, is that captor? Oh, we actually need cryogenic science packs. That means we can't get prod 3s without that science pack, I think. I think that's what it means. I'm not 100% sure though. There isn't much research else worth talking about. Transport belt stacking. This will be really nice for the Megabase. I'm not sure if it's really nice now, but maybe I'll use it. I can't think of a reason to use it right now. Prod Module 3s will be nice. Biolab, we already talked about that. That's going to be essential for Nowvis, because it's like 100% productivity. Haven't got it yet. But we need biter eggs, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain to get that set up. And then we got overgrowth, which we haven't got yet. I think this is pretty much similar to the other soil, except we could probably put it anywhere. So this lighter green is what we can currently put the soil on. This lower darker green is what we're going to be able to put the overgrowth soil. So instead of this little area, we can do this whole area for soil. And instead of this little area here, we can do this whole area for the soil. But that's going to take a lot to produce that soil, because, yeah. Where's that soil again? I lost that soil. The requirements for that soil is a little bit crazy. Like, the old soil used to take 2 seeds to produce 10 soil. This takes 5 seeds to produce 1 soil. So that's a huge thing. And it also requires 10 biter eggs, which takes bioflux, which is a massive pain in the ass. So yeah, not looking forward to that. You know what? I'm going to delete this mess. I don't even know why it's still here. It was a mistake to try and make it. I use going to be a backup, but yeah, producing carbon was just too much of a pain in the ass. But at least now that we got rid of it, we can let's get some explosions going. Woohoo! We can get some landfill back as well. It'll be nice to recover some landfill because we still do have uses for landfill, and this definitely you can see there all the landfill that we're pulling back. You can actually see it if you look at the ground. It's like, what is this weird square shape? That's all landfill. All right, it's all landfill. It's kind of weird picking up landfill because you kind of have to pick up all the stuff on top of it, but you can recover landfill. You can pick it back up and then have it reused, which is really, really nice. Not only because it makes the ground look nice again, but obviously being able to reuse landfill is really good. Because it's a pain in the ass to make. And for some reason, every single stone deposit in here is like less than 100k. It's very weird. Oh, we actually tapped this one out. Okay. Well, we'll finish that one off anyway. Okay, let's talk spaceships for a second. What is this? Oh, it's still just the thing. We're getting close. We're getting close to filling this in. And once we do, oh, look at all this. It's actually backed up. Why is it backed up? Oh, we don't have enough jelly. Don't have enough jelly. That's going to slow down the seed production, but whatever. Science is the main concern, so it's all good. How much science do we have? 1,000. And the Gleba science ship. Yeah, so it gets over there, but it's waiting for ammo to show up. Now it's going back to Gleba. Alright, speaking of the new ships, so let's talk about it. So the Endgame ships are... We're going to Aquila. Let's talk about power sources again. Steam, we could do something crazy like creating a steam engine and shooting some nuclear fuel up into it. Now, the main problem with steam and also the main problem with nuclear is water. They use quite a lot of water. Water is a little bit scarce on a spaceship. Okay, it's a little bit scarce. So, yeah, if we have a look at this nuclear, I mean, our nuclear facility is actually, it's doing okay. We haven't really upgraded it, but most of the time it's okay. I have seen it top over though, but most of the time it's okay. And we've never run out of fuel so far. Deposit up here, all the way up here, is still going strong, 1.9 million. This one's pretty much gone, but the other one's still going strong. So yeah, but I'm very worried about the water usage. About this, which is why I'm not so sure I can put it on a spaceship. Now, having said that, we talked about the final power source last time. We talked about Mr. Fusion Reactor. The fusion reactor takes fusion power cells and it takes that psychoketone, blah, 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 whatever it is. Psychoketone. Fluoroketone. And we discussed how the fluoroketone is a closed loop. So we've put 100 barrels on the spaceship and then it doesn't need any more. It can just zoom around forever. It doesn't use it up. So that will be our final solution. So when we take the spaceship and we start sending ships over into the shattered planet and to the solar system edge, they will have fusion reactors on them. Now, the tricky little bit is we can't build a fusion reactor because we need to get to Aquila to actually do the research. And we're going to need to be sending a lot of ships back and forth to Aquila before that research gets done. So what are those ships going to be powered with? Solar, obviously, I mean, we could. Let's be honest, we could do it because it's still going to be 60% solar power in space. And part of me is kind of tempted to do that because I'm really not sure what the alternatives are. I mean, I would like to do nuclear, But it just takes so much water. Nuclear takes a lot of water. In space exploration, they actually had a funky little thing which returned a whole bunch of water. It returned like 99% of the water. Specifically, it had a steam turbine, and the steam turbine actually returned 99% of the water, but it was less efficient, which means you could build steam turbines inside a spaceship, and all you need is a tank of water, and over a long journey, it would survive because it's returning so much water. Here, not so much. Now this, okay, let's talk about this ship for a second. It's producing 480 megawatts. Now, we could get away with 40 megawatts on a normal ship. And so with just one nuclear reactor, 40 megawatts, whatever. And so we could get away with a lot less. Now, having said that, these guys are still pumping 70 per second. We got 4 pumps going, 70 per second. Now, if we do 40 instead of 480, well, currently it's producing 240 approximately. So we divide that by, let's divide that by 4. That gives 120 megawatts on the spaceship. How much is this guy using? Bugger all. Having said that, we are going to be building a decent ship. Like the eventual one with the antimatter is going to be using a bunch of different stuff. However, let's say 40 megawatts. Let's say a good 40 megawatts. So we divide that by 8. So we need 10 water per second. 10 water per second, which, if we do the math, how do we convert ice? 10 water per second, which means we need 1 ice every 2 seconds. That might be doable. That might actually be doable. 1 ice every 2 seconds. If it's a big enough ship and it's got enough collectors, it might be doable. And if we look at the antimatter, if we actually look at the fusion reactor, I keep saying antimatter because antimatter was the fusion reactor equivalent in space exploration, but yeah. Yeah. So this guy, each one of these is 100 megawatt, 50 megawatt. So we have 1 fusion reactor, 2 fusion generators. That gives us 100 megawatts. That should be enough for all of our standard ships, for a ship that goes to Aquilo and back. Even if we have to go out to the edge of the solar thing, that should be enough. I don't know, actually. I don't know how much power it's going to need. I am going to build a big ship. Okay? It's going to be a big ship. Like, let's have a look at the normal ships. Like this ship, it's probably going to be like, well, let's have a look. So this ship, it's going to be something like that. Maybe not that big, okay? Maybe like this big. But it is going to be big. It's going to have a nice empty space. It's going to have a proper factory. It's going to have foundries doing all the iron smelting. It's going to have copper smelting. It's going to have a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a pretty big ship. Whether I replace all of my current ships, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, I'll probably use all the new ships going to Aquilo, because I'll have to. But all the ships that just go around this area, I don't know why I would need to. I don't know why I'm going to worry about it. But ships that go out to Aquilo, probably replace. And then I'll use that ship as a kind of starting point for the solar system edge and the shattered planet. But I will build them with the idea that it will be the endgame ship. And I will build it with, I think I'll try and build it with a nuclear power plant. Having said that, as soon as I get fusion reactors unlocked, the nuclear power plant will be replaced and the ship will be using fusion power. Like, there will be no nuclear powered ships after I've unlocked fusion power. How's my research going? Let's do a quick check over here. Now, Venus, what are you doing? What is going on? Okay, you got 4,000 of this agricultural science pack, and it's starting to go a little bit off. So let's get something. What do we want here? What do we want? What can we get? Asteroid productivity is nice. I don't want to go down there yet. I need the biter eggs for this. Let's get this unlocked. I could go for another level of productivity. Let's go down here. Let's go down this direction. And move these up the queue. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to get all of them done, but I'll try. Because that'd be nice. I like getting the research out of the way that's not infinite. So I can it's just this nice green square and I can sort of ignore it. And then that'll be it for the green science. It'll either be locked behind the biter egg or it'll be infinite. And then I'll start slowly pumping up the rocket science, the rocket fuels and the plastics when I get a chance. But you can see blue circuits up to 6, low density structures up to 8, mining productivity is up to level 23 at the end. So I've been hitting it as time goes on. And it's been going pretty well. Okay, there's a Gleba science. Oh yeah, it was sitting there and now it is dropping everything off. And it'll soon start to head back, so that's nice. I'm not as concerned about the science because I am producing it at a fairly decent rate. Like, well, 90, it's currently 90 per minute. But that's, why is that so slow? Where's all my Bioflux? There's jelly. Where's all my jelly? Give me some jelly, please. I guess I did start making the landscape for these guys. So that's probably slowed down the amount of seeds coming back up here, but there should still be 3/4 of the seeds going in that direction. So in the long run, it'll be worth it. It'll definitely be worth it. Having said that, there's not a lot going on at the moment. Where are you? Where are you guys? Okay, we've got some jelly stem over there. We got some little bit of jelly stem. There's not a lot of places to, you know what? I'm gonna actually go over here because there's gonna be some places like this one's only got one here. So I'm gonna take, see look, this one's got 4 places it can plant and no seeds. That's just the luck of the draw. You got a bunch of places. Okay, let's give you a few seeds. You, a few seeds. You got some places and you got no seeds. You got no places at all and you got tons of seeds. You got no place at all, you got tons of seeds. Geez, that guy's got seeds backing up. Okay. That's just, I could fine tune how the seeds are sent out, but okay, you could do with a little bit more seeds. Or maybe not. I'll seed you up with some more seeds. Seed you up with some more. I can't actually do that one because the thing's in the way. You could definitely get a couple more seeds because you got tons of space. This guy's just got a little bit of space. We'll give you some more seeds. And the rest of the seeds I'm going to convert into the fancy landfill. Okay. So that'll make things a little bit nicer. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be painful for a little while. I probably should have set this up earlier, but eventually it'll get good. Like this one is getting very good. This is like up to 80% at the moment. It's really starting to show some promise. Having said that, it's not producing seeds because this is all backed up because the jelly is not doing well enough. So it's all a very interesting system. I never thought I'd think about trashing this stuff, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. What we should do is we just pick up a whole buttload of it, and it's going to automatically trash it and put it in these chests, which will at least actually do nothing. It won't actually do anything because I'm trying to get more seeds out, and this stuff is the problem. I mean, this will go bad. This mash does go bad pretty quickly, so it will clear itself off the belt pretty fast. But let's give it a little bit of a hand. Give it a little bit of a hand. What I can also do, I'm not actually going to do anything with this. I'm just going to sit it there. Eventually, it'll turn into spoilage and get destroyed. What I can actually do is I can help this out a bit by going out and getting some more of this stuff, jelly nut. And I did that quite a few times before I figured out the ratios properly, because I was sending all these guys into assemblers instead of the biolabs, and I was still trying to make soil, and then everything just kept slowing down over time. It's just like it got slower and slower and slower, and I never realized that I was actually, by making the soil, I was actually not reseeding the farmland well enough. And it was just slowly dying off because I wasn't sending enough seeds back in. So then I started using the biolabs and it started growing again. So yeah, you really do need to know what you're doing with the seeding process. But as you can see, that's a ton. We just got a couple of clusters of trees, and I don't think I can actually take out all these trees. Because if I do... Well, actually I can, because I've still got space in my inventory. So let's take out all these guys. How much space? Still got space. Going down here. I think there's like a weird lone Yumako. I got a deconstruction planner which is keyed off very specific trees, which is kind of cool. But you can see from the map, we got the dark purple here and we got the light green over here. So these are the really core areas where only the trees grow naturally, and where you can only do the farming until we get the overdrive soil, or the overgrown soil, or whatever it is. And then we can really start growing pretty much wherever we want, like anywhere in this purple section, anywhere in this green section. But yeah. So in terms of a Megabase, there's a few things that we sort of have to keep in mind. First of all, these jelly nuts, they spoil in an hour. So it's an hour for the Yumako and the jelly nuts, and then it's 2 hours for the Bioflux. The Bioflux lasts forever. So what'll probably be the case is we'll have a whole bunch of different farming outposts, and then we'll be putting the fruit on a train, and then we'll have some sort of central thing that takes the two fruits, whacks them together, produces the Bioflux, and then puts the Bioflux on a train. And then the Bioflux can go over here, and we can make the science and the biochamber, the pentapods at the same time, and sort of squish them together, because the pentapods, they just need to be seeded, and once they're seeded, all they need is nutrients, so we can create tons of nutrients off the Bioflux. So basically our main science facility will just have Bioflux coming in, and yeah, we could have these processes as well. We could just have one big base, and it takes in this fruit and this fruit, and then it just does everything all in one go. Or we could have... Well, here's the thing, right? The Bioflux lasts for 2 hours. So it would be better for us to have like a big Yumako plant, and then like a big thingamy-bob plant, jelly nut plant, and then we have like a little base over here where all the jelly nut comes over and all the Yumako comes over, and we smush it into Bioflux, and then we have a separate train for the Bioflux, and that train goes all the way over to the main base, which does the science. Having said that, this guy at the moment can do up to 350 or so. So When I say mega, we only need to do 1k SPM. Like, so this should be easy. I mean, if we talk about overgrowth and stuff like that and really going nuts, I think it would not be too hard to make 5k SPM for the agricultural science and really just go ham on all of these Bioflux recipes. We'd have to do a ton of farming. We'd have to have like a couple of dozen of these setups. But then again, if you got the overgrowth, then you could just make it like this big or something like that. And then you only need a few because you're just getting so much going. I thought about doing a spreadsheet for this, but meh, I couldn't be bothered. But I don't think you need as much as you think you need to really go nuts. But anyway, that has been kind of done. So I'm not worried about the Megabase for this. You need to really worry about the spoilage, but once you understand that different items have different spoilage timers and which items you can safely transport and which items you really don't want to be transporting, you just want to be direct inserting as much as it starts to get a lot easier. Ooh, we got 1,000 of this. I'm guessing the supply already dropped off. Well, did I actually request it down here? I don't think I did. Planet supply, carbon fiber. Down here. We got 500 on the way. Okay, that's good. I got rid of the other incentive, blah, 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 whatever. Spoilage. That's not good. Let's fix up that spoilage problem. It's obviously science packs that have just been sitting in there forever and they never got used. These guys must have been on the verge of being spoiled because they are not going anymore. Okay, let's give it a bit more time for that to go. All right, you are going to be for spoilage. Where's my spoilage? Spoilage, please. And need a thingamabob. There we go, beautiful. Where's my Gleba science? It's waiting for ammo. And on Gleba, I've only got 700, so it's not that bad. But yeah, I definitely, even if I don't replace all of my current ships, I think I will go through and fix that. Where it request the ammo instead of requesting the iron, because that is so inefficient. But anyway, we will see about that. We'll see about that. Maybe I will create a new ship and we'll just. What we can do is we can make every single ship be a fusion reactor ship, and we'll just have an interrupt on it that says, oh, you're low on power? Go to Aquila, pick up some power units. Because the thing is, the fusion reactor, this thing is 40 gigajoules. So if we put some things, if we put like 10 of these, that's 400 gigajoules. And how do we make like holmium plate, lithium plate, ammonia? Lithium and ammonia, I mean, it does take holmium and this lithium brine. The holmium worries me a little bit. I'm going to have to ship that in from Fulgura, which is right next to whatchamacallit. But yeah, holmium plate and then ammonia. I think we just to get ammonia off the planet. I think we just pump it out. Yeah, we just pump it out of the ground. I don't think there's any different ways to get holmium solution that we can make on Aquila. That would be nice if we could do that. Because then we could just make yeah, okay. Made in ingredients, holmium solution. So only one recipe. Requires holmium ore. Gathered from fulgurite pieces. Used in holmium solution. Okay, maybe fulgurite is on. Yeah, now it sounds like it's on Fulgura. Funnily enough, it sounds like it's on Fulgora, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, I think we'll probably have to set up a ship that goes from Fulgora to Aquila, then transports holmium plate. I think that's a thing we're going to have to do. But to be honest, I mean, to make incredibly overpowered fusion reactor ships, I think it's a small price to pay to have a little ship that sends holmium plate over to Aquila. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards fusion reactors on every ship, and what we'll do is when we'll build the ship, we'll have a bunch of solar panels on the ship and a bunch of accumulators, and we only switch on the fusion reactor when the solar power is low. And that way, we can have ships going backwards and forwards between Nauvis and Volcanus, which will never need to switch on their fusion reactors. And then we can use the same ship template for every single ship. Well, when we go to the Shattered Planet and we have to start collecting absolute buttloads of the final thingamabob, the Prometheum asteroid chunk, then we might start to get interesting. We might start to do some weird... Biter eggs! How does the final science take biter eggs? I mean, they really don't seem like they're that hard to produce. Why would the final science... Do you need biter eggs as well? No, you don't. But it seems like biter eggs. Do you need biter eggs? Why do biter eggs... I'm guessing this thing needs biter eggs as well. It doesn't. Or it needs carbon fiber. But yeah, there's crazy stuff going on here. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Well, anyway, we can officially say that we have conquered all four of the first starting planets, and we're producing 120 SPM on all of them. Approximately. I mean, Volcanus, yes. Volcanus, we're not producing any because we're capped out. We just got so much. Speaking of which, this is still at 76. It's been like 7 episodes since I told myself I'd need to replace that. Haven't need to replace that. This one, we got 1 empty miner, so we have not been using this guy that much. Yeah, volcanic science is not used for much. I mean, we have been hammering the hell out of low density structure production, but that's it. We've been ignoring the artillery shells, so we've not been using a lot of this science. Fulgora, we've been using a little bit more because I haven't actually got all of the science yet. I haven't got this science, haven't got this science. But we do have a ton of this science pack just lying around, so we could easily finish those off. Maybe I should finish those off just to get them out of the way. Was it this and the quality module? I should probably get around to that. Let's queue those up. Let's queue up this, and let's queue up the quality module, and let's queue up the Tesla tower, and then we need to queue up this one as well. Yeah, okay. But I have been doing processing units, got this up to level 6, which I'm very happy about. If we go back to Nauvis, and we look up here, we're not doing any massive rocket shipments, but yeah, this guy, 60% production, it's very nice. I'm definitely looking forward to this guy being at 100%. And Mr. Low Density Structures, currently at 80%, 70%. So, looking forward to getting that at 100% as well. But yeah, those sciences are doing very well. So, yeah, we're pretty much done. And where were we? We're on Fulgora. The Fulgora is going pretty well. Our little base over here is going gangbusters. We've got 943 electromagnetic plants. And it's filled up 1 box. So I've built another box, so it's all good. Yeah, so this base is going gangbusters. These ones are pretty much all full because I'm not using too much of this science. Well, the thing is, it's designed for 120 SPM. And the thing is, all these sciences down here are also 120 SPM. So that's why the other planetary sciences are backing up, because they're not being used all the time. So realistically, I should make all of them 240 or something like that. Well, that was the original plan, was to start building the Megabase on Nowvis. And start pushing that up to 1K SPM. And then I could start really going ham on all of these ones that use the metallurgic science and the tech science. And we'd have 1K SPM on all the base game ones. But yeah, I'm still not sure about that. Yeah. Because the thing is about the Megabase back on Nowvis, like this. Okay, let's have a look at this one for a sec. Okay, that one doesn't have a 50% productivity. So it's not one of our fancy buildings. It's got a crafting speed of 2. Is there anything you can actually make? Cryogenic plant? I suppose not. It can craft a whole bunch of stuff. Crafting speed of 2. But okay, module slots 8. That's interesting. Can we use this for anything? It's kind of like an upgraded chemical plant, isn't it? Okay, now we got to think about this for a sec. We got to think about this, because, yeah. No inbuilt productivity, but it does have 8 module slots. Okay, alright. So that is going to be a thing. I could do all the maths in my head like we did with the other buildings, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We want this building on Nowvis for our Megabase. I think that's just going to be a thing, like batteries, sulfur, plastic. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a thing that we do it, because this is 3 module slots, this is 8 module slots. And I mean, the chemical plant has always been a little bit janky, because you've got the level 3 assemblers, which have 4 module slots, and the miners, which, how many slots do the miners have? The smelters, which have 4 module slots. I think they have 4 module slots. No, only 2. Okay, never mind. I was about to say the chemical plant was always a bit janky because it didn't have as many module slots, but it still had more than the smelter. But, yeah. Now we got 8 module slots. And this, I would not be surprised if all of our Nowvis Megabase operations actually are using a better building. So, yeah. Okay, so we definitely want that for the Megabase. That is a thing at the moment. I'm not sure if we need to wait for the fusion reactor. I feel like we probably don't. Power-wise. Actually, I feel like we probably do. I feel like we probably should wait for the fusion reactor before we start building the Megabase. Because, yeah, like I said, we're already tapped out on power on Nowvis with this one nuclear reactor. We could temporarily make a few more nuclear reactors if we wanted to. But the thing is, once we start putting all the advanced machines down, once we start putting the electromagnetic plants and the foundries, and we start putting modules in them, no. Our power requirements are going to go through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. So there's no middle case. So I think we need to get the fusion power going in a big way. So we need to get... Sorry, so let's go through our checklist. First things first, we need to make a nuclear-powered ship to get us over to Aquilo. And the ship needs to be made in such a way that it's got a nuclear power plant, but once we get fusion, we can just shove in a fusion reactor and we're good to go. So, yeah, that'll be it. And then that ship is going to be our endgame ship. It's going to have a ton of space. Like this guy has a ton of space. I don't know if we're going to need more space in this. This feels like enough space, even for endgame ships. Even when we go out to like the shattered planet and we're picking up asteroid chunks, let's actually have a look at these asteroid chunks. I know this video is going long. I don't care. Promethium asteroid chunk. Okay, stack size of 1. Jesus. Jesus, why are you doing this to me, game? Why are you doing this to me? That is not a good number. What are you... You are... all of these guys have stack sizes of 1s. 1. And we... Okay. Do we make the signs on the ship? Okay, well, let's. I mean, this is way further in the future, but let's do some considerations. Where's my crazy quantum processor? Oh, here it is. Okay, what do you stack to? Okay, you stack to 100. You are decent, and you are used to create the science pack, and the science pack stacks to 200. Okay, you are decent. Biter eggs. What do you stack to? You stack to 100 as well. Okay. So this thing is made in a cryogenic plant. I am rapidly leaning towards making the science on the ship. Which is nutso. Which is very nutso. But, okay, wait. So to craft it, that's fine. Is there any requirement for where you can place it? Can handle extremely low temperatures. Okay, so I'm guessing... Can we actually... I don't think we can... Can we go and start placing buildings we haven't researched? I don't think so. But yeah, that may be... Maybe we'll build the science on the ship. Because then we can have a huge cargo container and we load it up with biter eggs and the quantum processors, and then we send it off and we just keep it going until it creates a bunch of science, and it comes back with a bunch of science. And it can have like a loop. So it goes to Aquilo and it goes to Gleba, picks up some biter eggs, goes to Aquilo, picks up some custom processors, goes to the solar system edge, goes off to the shattered planet, does its thing, and then it comes back with a bunch of science. And we'd probably create like a bunch of those ships, like all identical or something like that. Yeah. I know I keep checking this to see what the agricultural science situation is. Okay, you got 1.5k science. Let's move that one back in and get a bit of research on that one before... The science is still in a pretty decent situation, but yeah. But yeah, I think that maybe that's what we're going to do, build the science on the ship. But we were talking about the Megabase on Now-Vis. So I think we definitely want to wait for the fusion reactor. And then that'll be it. I mean, there's no more tech past there. Well, there's no tech past this. It's just research productivity. So obviously we're not going to wait for that before we build the Now-Vis Megabase, but yeah. Quantum processor. This takes a little bit of everything. So we're probably going to make this on, well, we have to make it on Aquila. We got no choice there. Oh, look at that. Crafting surface conditions has to be crafted on a space station. Well, there you go. So we don't have a choice. It's weird because I saw a video. Somebody was creating promethium, getting promethium on a ship, but they were just storing it. I'm not sure if they were doing anything with it. And they were storing it in belts. Like they had a bunch of wavy belts they were using for storage. Because it stacks to 1, so obviously you can't really chuck it in here. But I was going to have a huge platform hub and then just get like 10, like a buttload of these chunks and just take them back. But no, I guess we'll be crafting in space. Whether we're crafting on the ship, here's the thing. I have actually tried to send from one ship to another when they're in the same orbit. It does not work. Because I had the Now-Vis Science ship, and it was in orbit, and it was requesting space science packs, and it did not get any. This one sent it down to the surface, and then I had to rocket them back up. So I don't think you can do transport between ships on the same thing. So you couldn't even do like a ship that collects the asteroids and then another platform that just sits on the edge of the solar system and it just sits there and then you transport from one ship to another. Because from what I can tell, it doesn't work. Maybe I did it wrong, but it doesn't work as far as I can tell. So you're going to have to craft it on the ship that's actually collecting it, and then you drop off the space science. And that ship would have to travel all the way back. It would either have to travel back to Aquilo, drop off the science for then another transport ship to send it back to Nalvis, or the Prometheum collecting ship goes all the way back to Nalvis. So it has to go to basic, goes to Gleba, pick up some beta eggs, goes to Aquila, pick up some circuits, goes here, goes all the way over there to pick up some chunks, all the while crafting some science, goes back to the solar system edge, back to Aquilo, back through Gleba to get to Nalvis, to drop off the science, and then it starts the whole trip all over again. And we got to do that 1k SPM. So there's probably going to be, as I said, a bunch of those ships go like cycling through over and over again. Having said that, I am very excited about crafting a ship, making a ship. It's going to be awesome. We're going to make a new ship. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, and I'm very happy that we're kind of done with this planet. Look, we're at 90%. We're getting very close to this one being done. And I have capped this off. Oh, we got some jelly coming back. This is good. We're starting to see some jelly coming consistently back. So obviously, we got some nice soil. This guy needs some more seeds. He needs some more seeds. I'm guessing there's some other things that are stocked up on seeds. But yeah, once we fill all of these in, it's going to be very awesome. What was it? Oh, look at this. This one's got a ton of plants down here. Very nice. Okay, this is going to be good. I'm going to leave this for a 10, 20 hours or something. It is going to get in very good shape. And we may not even need to go for the... we may not even need the overgrowth soil to get 1k SPM. We may just be able to do it with the situation that we're currently in. We'll just get a few key areas... Having said that, we won't be able to build here. I think we'll only be able to build in this section here. We won't be able to build in this huge red area. But if we get the overgrowth, we can build in this huge red area. So maybe we will get the overgrowth. I'll think about it. I mean, once we start getting all of the science that we need, and we get rocket fuel up to level 10, and plastic up to level 10, then I'll be like, okay, and this one up to level 10 or whatever. Then I'll be like, okay, what do we need the green science for? Not really much. Let's sort of not focus on that. Let's start making some overgrowth soil and really start making tons of this, because this will dampen our science production quite a lot. Maybe. I don't know exactly, but we'll see. And we'll start making a ton of this. And then we can start filling in like a lot of this area. A lot of this area. I'm not sure if this is actually area we can fill in, but yeah. Can we actually select the overgrowth? No, we can't. We need to research it first. But anyway, we'll get onto there. This planet I'm not too worried about. Fulgura, I'm not too worried about. It's a little bit funky. But I feel like this is actually going to be the most fun to make a Megabase on this base, because there's so many challenges. The unloading station for the scrap is going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. We're going to have this massive recycling setup. Oh, you're stalled. You're stalled on the whole Holmanite ore though, which I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with the entire system being stored on the Holmium ore. I actually set up a little thing to throw the Holmium ore into the train to recycle it, and then I stopped myself and I realized, what the hell are you doing? Now, if we stall on Holmium, plastic, then I'm going to be like, okay, something is really wrong with my calculations. What the hell is going on here? But if that happens, then what I might do is I might just start scrapping some blue circuits or something like that, sending some blue circuits into the recycler. Or better yet, if we run low on plastic, I'll start throwing some low density structures into the recycler. That's probably what I would do if I ran out of plastic. And that's probably what is probably meant to do, because yeah, it's not a coincidence that plastic is the thing that I'm running out of the most. Having said that, we're actually throwing some plastic away, so clearly what I'm actually going to do here is, because we're only, it looks like we're out, but we're not really out. It just looks like we're out because we're sending everything through one side of the belt. So I'm going to put a belt balancer here. And that should make it a little bit nicer. Because, yeah, one side of the belt was stacked up and the other side wasn't going through, so... It's still sending some stuff off. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we're not low on plastic. It looks like we're a little bit low because we're not stacked up thousands in here, but we're not low. We're surviving. Maybe plastic and holmium is kind of the same when you get it from red circuits. Obviously, if you get it from low density as well, you got tons of it. But, yeah. And it's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because we've been talking forever. But as I said, Volcanus Megabase is going to be... The problem with Volcanus, I think, is going to be getting some space, getting rid of all these cliffs, getting rid of all this lava. And I think the problem is going to be finding enough tungsten ore to really... and calcite. And the logistics of getting the rails between these, because there's so much lava, there's so many cliffs. So there's going to be a lot of landfill stuff and building in weird areas. So finding places to build is going to be a problem. That's also going to be a problem on Fulgura, because we've got these dinky little islands. And Gleba, not so much. Gleba is probably going to be one of the easier ones in terms of spacing. And the thing is, we do have this foundation further down, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of a bunch of different resources. And all these resources, tungsten plate, carbon fiber, lithium plate, fluoroketone stone, that's to produce one foundation. So it's quite a lot. So those foundations are going to be hard to produce. But then again, once we've got a ton of tungsten plate being sent over and a ton of carbon fiber and a ton of lithium plate and all that, it'll start to get easier. But having said that, we're not just going to be able to say, okay, put landfill everywhere here. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to get creative. We can't just landfill this entire big square and produce a standard megabase. We're going to have to get creative. That's a lot. That's a big land over there. I'm going to have to, we're going to have to get creative with building a megabase on this planet to use the land in the most optimum way possible. So we're going to have to do some very strong calculations. We're going to have to figure out exactly what we need. And we're going to have a train network like no other. And we're going to have to do some recycling. I think I really like this idea of having a train going and sending off and doing the recycling that it needs to do. So we'll probably have a big sorting area, like maybe on this island. It brings in all the scrap, it sorts it all out, and then we'll have like almost one train per thing that gets chucked out. Maybe the iron and the steel, we recycle that all 100% into iron plates, and then we put all those iron plates on the train. Maybe, because iron plates are just used with batteries, right? Do we need battery? We need batteries for other things. Okay, so we'll probably put the iron plates on a train and we put the batteries on a train, and then we send them off to wherever they need to. And it'll be like Nelvis. It'll be a sort of, I think it'll probably be like either a 1-0 train network or a 1-1 train network. We got these little trains zipping all over the place, and it'll be like this square system with all these intersections and stuff, all up in the air, of course, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So we're going to be like copying and pasting this, and then we're going to be going over to Fulgura, and is there a button to elevate the rails? There probably is. If there isn't, then I'll just build it from scratch on this planet with elevations and stuff. But we'll set up that rail network and it'll be awesome. I've been talking for way too long. I'm going to finish it off now. Next episode is going to be the spaceship. And it's going to be an awesome spaceship. How's our science? I can't stop playing this game. I swear to God, I'm addicted. How much? Where's our science? We got 1.9k. Okay. Let's go ahead. And where's my research? Where's my... Oh, we're up to the 3,000 one. Okay. Let's put that one at the start. And let's leave it there. All right. Thank you very much for watching this incredibly long video about this incredibly complicated base. And it's only going to get more complicated, but I can't wait. I am itching, absolutely itching to start building the Megabase on Nowvis. I want to get 1k SPM on the first 4 science packs. And I want to take this research, where is it? Mr. Mining Productivity, and I want to put it up to level 100 as fast as I can. I just want to go, boom, a level 100, 1000% mining productivity. I want to do it. I absolutely want to do it. I mean, I went onto Nowvis and I built some more mines, these guys, and I just did it here, and it wasn't quite enough to fill up a blue belt, these 2 mining drills, and I was like, come on. A little bit more mining productivity and we can fill up these 2. Having said that, once we reach a certain level of productivity, this drill will fill up one side of a green belt. And then that's it. There's no more need for productivity. Although, having said that, there are some other resources, like, where is it? This guy, which has a mining time of 500%. So that one will benefit from mining productivity well past everything else in terms of filling up one side. Having said that, what we might do, here's the really interesting thing, is we might do direct train insertion. So we've got, let's actually, I keep having to end this video. Look at how perfect that is. Okay, we got a mining drill and then we got a train carriage. A mining drill and a train carriage. Direct train insertion. That is the way it's going to go. And then there's no limit to the amount of productivity that we have. Productivity goes towards the moon and it's still useful. That's going to be awesome. All right. We'll do that eventually. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.